All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 134. We got the Wanderer here and making a long overdue appearance. Big Ern is with us. We finally welcome him back.
Hello.
Super excited to have you guys here today, especially Ern, because we haven't talked football with him for a while. Yeah, you know. Before we get to the football, though, because I feel like we're going to spend most of our time on that this week because these games are crazy.
Yeah.
There's some baseball notes that I don't think did we talk about the Kyle Tucker thing last week?
No,
I think
it didn't happen until after.
Right. So we got that, and then the Bo Bichette deal were the two big deals that happened after our show. And I can't believe I'm sitting here about to talk about how Kyle Tucker does not deserve $60 million a year. And also, I know we've talked about this many, many times, so I don't want to get too much into this. But what the hell with the Dodgers, man? I mean, like more deferred money, even though it's not as much as their other contracts.
Right.
It's only $30 million.
Well, this is going to be a reason why there's no baseball after this season.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean on that side of the fence. I didn't think
I think it's pretty much at this point now with this it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I would agree. I was on the other side of that fence saying there's no way they could possibly do it because baseball is already suffering. I think they're the third, if not fourth now, most popular sport. And that's excluding hockey. So you got basketball, football, and even soccer that might be in front of them now. And then you're going to have a lockout. And unless they decide that they're going to, I guess reinstitute steroids, they're not going to get baseball back.
Yeah.
Because
what's the common denominator? The sports all above them, what do they have? Salary cap.
Yeah. And
revenue sharing.
100%. And they sort of do have the revenue sharing kind of thing with the luxury tax, but what the Dodgers have done so far again this year with signing Diaz and now Tucker to like a short-term deal, but $60 million. Like, can you tell me that Kyle Tucker is better than Juan Soto, where he gets $60 million a year and Juan Soto only gets, I think it's like 50 or 51?
Well, I mean, you got to take into account it's only a 3-year deal and there's an opt-out after each year. So that plays a big part of it.
But even still, you think Kyle Tucker's really going to opt out? He would have to have a monster year next year to opt out.
Was he hurt at all last year?
Yeah, he didn't play a full season. I don't know how long he was hurt for, but he didn't play a full season. But yeah, I just can't believe this guy made $60 million. And I know the Mets were targeting him late in that process, and then he chose the Dodgers. Well,
surprise.
To be fair, the Dodgers did kind of what the Mets did with Soto, even though they were kind of actively engaged the whole time. But the Dodgers swooped in. I think he had the biggest deal. Was it him with the Phillies or was it Bo Bichette?
I think Bichette.
Okay, I might be getting the two confused because those two dropped almost like a day apart from each
close,
other.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the Mets had to do something at that point, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. So the Mets lost out on Tucker. They signed Bo Bichette to a similar kind of deal, not as much money, obviously, but gave him high AAV. I think it was like $45 million a year. And the Phillies gave him a 7-year contract, I think what it was, for, a couple $100 million, whatever the number is. I don't even care to entertain this amount of money anymore. And, the Mets signed Bo Bichette. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it was a good move. Obviously, Tucker went to greener pastures, I guess you could say.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think it's a solid pickup. Hopefully it translates on the field.
Now
Yeah.
that you mentioned it, it might have been the Tucker that the Mets made a larger offer than the Dodgers. Why do I feel like I remember saying that? But whatever.
Either which way.
I'm a Bichette fan, so I mean I'm happy for the Mets. I would have much rather the Yankees have signed him, but yeah, I'm a Bichette fan. I hope he does big things. But whatever.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy baseball this year because they ain't gonna be around after that.
and it's funny too because you got all these teams not spending money, and then you got like 2 or 3 teams spending money, and all of a sudden now you got the Yankees, and their whole offseason is hinging on Cody Bellinger at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind though, with everything that's going on, is there a reason for the non-spending? Are teams trying to make a point right now? Are the owners trying to make a point, say, let the Dodgers sign everybody, and then we're definitely gonna have a lockout, and we're gonna eventually get what we want, and that's a salary cap.
You think that'll work though? Like, I don't think any of this will work right now.
It's gonna have to work because there's gonna be a lockout, and
it's a shame what they're gonna do to they're gonna kill baseball.
they're gonna kill it. They're gonna kill it. I mean, the NFL has always been the biggest monster in the world. Why not follow suit? Why not do what they do? 50% of the whatever revenue is generated goes to the owners. The other 50% goes to the players, and you figure out the cap each year from there.
Yeah.
Because look at the NFL. The salary cap changes every year, goes up every year.
Yeah.
So just do the same thing, 50-50 split.
Yeah. I don't disagree at this point, and I'm just going to be sad when we're sitting here, in 2027 in April or May, and there's no baseball. Because after June, it's not going to really hurt us till June. After June, there's no more hockey, there's no more basketball, there's really nothing else going on. All you really have is baseball. Mm-hmm. And that's all this money that's going to go to waste. And it's a shame because some people just don't care on one side of the fence, and other people don't care on the other side of the fence. It's sad. And, the only other piece of news that I have, and I heard it earlier, I don't know if you heard it, Ernie, now there's a sweepstakes for Cody Bellinger all of a sudden, and it's the Mets and the Yankees again. So the Mets supposedly are interested in Cody Bellinger on a short-term deal, shorter than the Yankees, and apparently they're the only other suitors that supposedly threw a contract out. I didn't hear what the contract was, but apparently it's not on fire right now or even hot, but the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes are like lukewarm.
And obviously nobody's offered him what the Yankees have offered him because he would have taken it.
Agree. And the Yankees would have came back and either tried to match it or done something else. So, nothing of yet, but they're saying that the Mets are showing interest. And you know what? I don't mind that plan for the Mets because then all of a sudden, okay, you lost Nimmo and you lost Alonso, but if you get Bellinger and Bo Bichette, and I'm a big Bo Bichette fan too, I hated him on the Blue Jays, but he's got something for the Mets that they haven't had, which is the actual singles and doubles hitting and the high average, and would love for the Yankees to have gotten him because that's the kind of player I want on the team, but because we traded for Ryan McMahon and the Steinbrenners don't want to add more money to the payroll, they weren't even going to get him unless Cody Bellinger was out, and the Mets swooped in and took him. Now, granted, it doesn't make the Mets better defensively because all over their defense is all out of whack, but it definitely makes them stronger offensively. And if you're tired of guys striking out or popping out or making these stupid, lazy fly ball hits or whatever, or ground balls, he's not going to do that for you. So that it's good in that aspect, but he's never played third base. Listen, he's athletic. I'm sure he'll probably be fine there. Will you see some errors cost you some games? Probably. But I lean more on the side of his bat will win you more games than his glove will lose you. So great for him. And, I don't know why this Cody thing is taking so long. I get it's the Scott Boras thing, but he should have learned the last 2 years that no one's really messing around with this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's probably the Yankees made their offer. They said, this is our offer. We're not changing. Go shop around. If you find something, you find something. If not, this is the offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think a lot of these teams are just whatever. They're trying to prove a point. They're letting the Dodgers do what they want to do because they know what's coming. I'll be honest with you. I got a sneaky feeling, and I've been feeling this way for a while. I don't think the Steinbrenners are long for owning the Yankees. I think they're gonna. I got a feeling they're gonna be selling the team sometime soon.
Why do you say that? That's the second time I heard that in not even 2 days. I heard that today twice.
Oh, really?
I heard it from a friend of mine at work.
I just get that feeling. Like I don't think that they obviously don't have the love for it that their dad had.
Right. So like I literally heard. I think it was early today. I might just be mixing up the days. It was yesterday or today. There was like some article. I don't know if it's bullshit or not yet, where they were saying that the Steinbrenners aren't the richest people in baseball anymore, and there's a lot of teams now that have billionaire owners, and these hedge fund people that are billionaires want to own teams,
Right.
and they can't hang. So he's trying not to spend money, because if he spends the money, he'll have to sell a part of the team, and if not the majority of the team, which means you can't be an owner. Because if you can't spend the money to make a good baseball team, because you're afraid that you're going to be bankrupt, and it kind of makes sense too, like what Hal was saying when he had his interview, like at the end of the season, like, oh, it cost this. He's talking about all this money and all this stuff, and we're like, your team's worth $9 billion. But to be fair, the Steinbrenners don't own 100% of the Yankees. They own like 51%. Which would still make them billionaires, I think, right? If you do the math.
Yeah, and don't forget, I mean, very rarely does one person own 100% of the
Right.
team. It's usually multiple people. But listen, exactly like you said before, these billionaires today who are taking over all these sports teams, it's like something that they want. And I mean, you can't blame them, because you see the way the values of these sports teams are just going bananas, where you got WNBA teams that are being evaluated at over $1 billion now. So
that's crazy.
So would you be shocked if somebody came along and offered them $15 billion for the Yankees at Yankee Stadium? No. So at a certain point, like if you're not George, how do you turn that down?
Yeah, and if they don't have the love, like you said, of the game,
Right.
It's much easier to do that. I think the only reason why they're holding on is because they know that their father is rolling around in his grave right now, what the Yankees have become the last couple of years, to no fault of his own. You know what I mean? All right, that's it for baseball. I don't want to talk about any more baseball until I guess a couple more weeks, unless something big happens. But let's talk about football. Let's start off with the Bills-Broncos game. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
It was, it's a great game. It was a tale of two halves. In the first half, you had a couple of turnovers by the Bills that turned into points for the Broncos.
And the one major turnover that wasn't a turnover.
Right.
What a joke.
They went. They had. I guess it was a 10-point lead at the half.
Yeah, I think it's 2010. Yeah.
Then in the second half, they couldn't do it. Denver couldn't do anything, and the Bills were marching the ball down the field. It was back and forth. Then Denver, they needed to another game-winning drive at the end, the Knicks delivered. We find out after the game that he has a broken foot. I'm not sure when that happened.
Second to last play of the game.
Yeah.
Did it? Okay. But then, obviously, the Bills came back, had enough time to tie it up, and the game went to overtime. And, it was a great way to start the weekend.
So I felt like this game could have been much better, right? I feel like Josh Allen played like crap. There was a reason why he was crying at the end of that game in the interview. He had 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. I think if he plays a cleaner game, I feel like there's no way the Bills lose that game. Like, I feel like they go on to the AFC Championship
They
game.
definitely had chances, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then everyone wants to blame the refs for that catch. I think it was in overtime, right? Where, Cooks catches the ball.
I thought that was a pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Really? I'm shocked. Why do you say that? That's actually interesting.
Because the guy came down with the ball.
Right, but so...
But he did it because if you really
Also, I wasn't rooting for Buffalo, so maybe that.
right. But if you watch the play, when he comes down with the ball, his elbow hits the ground
And his knee.
so he's down.
Okay.
Then the guy rolls over and
Rips it out.
strips the ball.
Yeah.
The guy is down, and then what was it? Sunday night's game. There was like the identical play, and it went the other way. That it was a catch.
Right. So,
And now, not for anything, but the NFL is gonna look foolish because they screwed that up, which completely and obviously potentially turned the whole game around, right? Because it went the other way. And now they're gonna have Denver getting smoked because they're gonna have some guy who hasn't thrown a pass since 2023 playing quarterback.
right. What's his name? Stidham?
Stidham. Whatever.
So
Jared Stidham.
my friend at work is a big Broncos fan, and he watches their games all year long.
Yeah.
So when I saw him come into my office, I talked to him about it, and he was hopeful. He's like, well, Stidham has been in the league 5 years. Like, maybe we could have a miracle. I was like, basically what you're telling me is you want him to have the Sam Darnold game, which is we'll talk about in a minute, next week, and just not turn the ball over, make a play when you got to make a play, and just let your running backs do their thing. I totally get it. You're very optimistic right now, but the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
But the problem with that too is that Harvey, who's their main back, looked like shit too, and was fumbling the ball like crazy.
Yeah, like to me, there were a bunch of sloppy games this weekend. This was one of them. Even the Texans Patriots ones, which we said, we'll get to that, was another one. But yeah, I totally forgot that. Or maybe I didn't see it because I was watching the game at the bar, like that Bo Nix broke his ankle, like a bone in his ankle. It didn't shatter his ankle, but I thought he did it on the last play of the game, which was when he kneeled down. I'm like, because that's the play that they showed, and I was looking at it on Instagram or TikTok, whatever it was. I'm like, wait, there's no way he kneels down, gets bumped by like the offensive or defensive lineman, and breaks a bone in his ankle. And then I come to find out that it was the play before that where he actually broke it, and I guess he just didn't realize it because of the adrenaline or whatever, and that I got too. But what a kick in the dick for the Broncos, who had like a crazy kind of season where like Bo Nix wasn't always at his best, but he always found ways to win.
Right.
And then you lose him on the second to last play of the game. And granted, you needed him. Like it's not like you were up 10 or 15 with seconds ago, and then he gets hurt, and you lose him, and now you're going to have this bum basically come in. And listen, Sean Payton's a good coach. He's going to have to pull some serious wizardry to even come close to winning this game. I don't know how you pick against the Patriots in this AFC Championship game. I don't see it.
I think the Patriots are going to smoke them. I wonder what the
spread has to at least be 7.5 right now, and I'm sure it's even higher than that. But yeah, we'll talk about next week's games in a few minutes. The next game is the 49ers Seahawks.
Not really much of a game there from the kickoff.
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of had to guess because San Francisco was dealing with so many injuries.
Right.
Then McCaffrey got hurt during the game.
They lost Kittle last week. Like they
played a few weeks ago, and it was similar outcome.
Well, like it wasn't 41-6.
No, but I meant
yeah.
Seattle
won. Yeah, Seattle did win in Week 18. They won 13-3.
Good old Jets, helping every team in the NFL out but themselves.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. But you know what? I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't get it together for whatever reason with the Jets, but he did well with the Vikings last year. His only knock last year was he couldn't win the big game because in Week 18 last year, it was set up just like this year. And he lost to Goff and the Lions for the division and the number 1 seed, and then got bounced out the next week in the wild card round to, was it the Rams? Did they lose to? I don't remember, but either was right. He lost back-to-back games and he was out of the playoffs. Same kind of setup this year. He beats the 49ers 13-3, and then now he beats the Niners again. without even really doing much. Like I think he threw for under 200 yards passing, but the most important thing is he didn't fumble the ball, he didn't throw a pick. The guys, like you said, from the first play, what is his name, Shaheed or something like that,
Yeah.
gets him going. Like that's such a big play early on
Oh yeah.
to just build the momentum, and you're at home.
And they went for it on 4th down early in their own territory, and they didn't get it. And it's like, the crowd gets, even louder. So
Yeah, and like we
it
said,
was stacked against them.
you're in Seattle. The
Pretty
12th
quickly.
man thing definitely lived up to
Oh,
its
yeah.
hype. It was tough for them. This was so one-sided. So like right off the bat, I kind of felt like this is not a great weekend so far. You know what I mean? Then we get to the Sunday games, and the 3 o'clock game, Texans versus the Patriots, and I think whatever Josh Allen had, he gave to C.J. Stroud.
Well, C.J. Stroud has just been
Not good,
no.
not at all.
And if it wasn't for their defense, they wouldn't have even been in the playoffs.
Yeah, their defense. Their defense definitely kept them in that game.
Yes.
too,
He's
for sure.
he's definitely seems like he's just like totally regressing
Right.
as a quarterback. It's like every week it seems like it's getting worse.
Yeah. And this was a bad time to have this kind of game. So I think what did he throw? 4 interceptions? And don't get me wrong, I think Drake May threw 2 interceptions that game too.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 turnovers.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like this was a very sloppy game, but it just seemed like the Patriots like at some point in like the fourth quarter just took it over.
Yeah.
2 good defensive teams, and give Houston's defense and whoever their defensive coordinators a hell of a lot of credit for keeping them in that game as long as they did.
Yeah, for as bad as
Oh.
Stroud was, the defense had them in the game for most of it, and I think maybe the backbreaker was that catch by Booty.
Yeah,
that was a nice touchdown grab.
100%. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else.
The weather definitely played a
Yeah.
factor in this game.
It's snowing. It was cold. I get it. What are you gonna do, man? Like so far, I was unimpressed so far with these games. I tell you what, I was impressed with the Seahawks, and then after that, not impressed with any of these teams playing in the divisional round. I was just like, what's gonna happen next week? You know what I mean? And then you got the Rams Bears game, and listen, I'll be honest with you, I was not fully paying attention to this game for a bunch of reasons, but I started to watch it. It looked like, it was a tight game for the first half for sure. I think what was it, like 10-10 or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah. And this also went into overtime. I want your thoughts on Caleb Williams' play for this game, because that last play of the game, I think it was 4th and 4 or something like that. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
it was definitely 4th down, and he's getting chased by literally the entire defensive line, and he goes back 21 yards and then throws up, I guess what you could say is a Hail Mary.
Yeah, well, what else would you call it?
I mean, well, it's not a typical Hail Mary, but he just chucks it up off his back foot, and it lands in Cole Kmet's hands in the end zone for a touchdown to tie the game. And I was like, what is happening?
I mean, listen, running back all those yards, it all comes down to one thing. 1, you avoid getting sacked, and 2, you have the arm strength, because the people downfield are going to be wide open because everybody's coming after you at that point.
Yeah.
You're so far back in the pocket, everybody's coming after you. So people are going to be wide open. It's just a matter of if you don't get sacked and you have the arm strength to reach the guy. And obviously he had the arm strength to reach the guy. I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan. I'm not, but I mean, you got to give him some credit. They had a very good year. I guess it's a sign of how good
Ben Johnson.
is, and how they did so great when they've been one of the laughing stocks of the league, and Detroit took a big step back this year. So
Right.
kudos to Ben Johnson.
Well, me and you have been talking about this for weeks now. It just seems like, and I was never a big Caleb Williams fan, but we've seen this week after week. They just find a way to win this game in the end of the fourth quarter or in overtime. A bunch of times this year. It must have been would they have 10, 11 wins and 8 or 9 of them were fourth quarter comebacks? And, some of them they were down double digit points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought once they tied this game, they were going to beat the Rams. And if it wasn't for, I think it was a pick.
Yeah, he threw another pick. I heard.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much as a pick as the guy made the right read and dove and made a nice catch, which you don't see often from cornerbacks and DBs and whatnot.
Right.
And that's what was the icing on the cake for them, because then, Stafford did his thing. They marched the ball down the field, got the field goal, game over, 20-17. But to me, that was a really good game. And other than that, all the other games, for one reason or another, were somewhat on the subpar level. And you were kind of missing those teams that should have been in the playoffs that were not. This was the first week I saw that. The wild card round, it wasn't so bad. There was a game here or there that were But, 3 out of 4 games not really playing up to the par. And even like I said, the Patriots didn't look as dominant as they have looked all year for the most part. And granted, they had an easy schedule from what it shows on paper, but they weren't sharp either. None of these teams were sharp.
They played the best defense in football.
Yeah, but agreed. But
and Houston's defense has been making everybody look bad.
Agreed. That's probably going to be that's
If
obviously the hardest
If
game.
New England doesn't smoke Denver, I'd be shocked.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
And the line is at 5.5, which
That's it?
shocking to me.
Wow. There must be something they know we don't know.
Well, I mean,
yet.
it's the game is in Denver, so I mean, flip it. If it were in New England, then it'd probably be 8.5.
Okay.
Because you're typically on the line of getting those 3 points for being at home.
Do you guys think maybe Denver's calling up Tom Brady to come back for one game?
No.
Maybe 2? No? You don't think so?
No.
You don't?
Maybe John, Elway or Manning.
I mean, if he wasn't an owner, I could totally see this happening, and it'd probably be the best thing we've seen in football in a long time. I heard the guys on the radio talking about it. I couldn't even imagine. I didn't even know there was a rule that if you're an owner, you can't be a player. I didn't know that. I mean, it should be obvious, I guess, technically, because normally you're an owner, you're old, but, I guess that rule's out there for a reason, but, it'd be crazy. So you have New England at Denver. These are both Sunday games. That's the 3 o'clock game. And then the night game is the Rams at Seattle. So we don't really have to touch on Denver unless there's something that I missed of the Denver-New England game that we haven't already spoke about. Ernie, I know you said you'd be shocked if Denver puts up a fight. The only thing I will say to that is Denver also has a good defense, so maybe they could do something like Houston and just keep it close and have a last chance to win the game. But even with that being said, Houston couldn't go all the way through with that, and I feel like even as bad as C.J. Stroud was, he's still better than Stidham is, and Stidham hasn't played in God knows how long.
Wow. But Stroud was awful.
Awful. There's no question. He's definitely awful.
I don't think Stidham, whatever the fuck his name is, could be any worse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no. The only thing that could be any worse is 5 interceptions. If that happens, I feel like the Patriots will win 30-something to 7 or something like that, or 6 or 9. But what do you think, Wanderer? Is there anything that we might have missed with these two teams that gives Denver any kind of a chance to win this game?
No, I don't think so.
So we're all, it's safe to say, we'd all pick New England on the road to win this game.
Yeah.
Just, money line, just New England wins this game.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll move on. The next game, if this is a crappy game, I'm going to be upset because Rams, Seattle, this should be 45-42 by the end of this game.
Yeah, this should be a good game.
You know, with the Rams, I kind of was surprised. You know, they came out out of the gate pretty hot. You know, they scored a touchdown right away. They were passing the ball all over the field, but I guess they really didn't get a lot of offense going. Besides that, when I saw the final score of the game, but I guess they'll have another crack at it.
Yeah, and the
Sunday.
Bears defense played well, right? So.
Right.
Also, Matthew Stafford doesn't play well in the cold. I know
Why
that's
not though? He's in Detroit. Well, is Detroit a dome?
Yes.
Yeah. There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah.
That's my
I think
question.
I forget what his record was, but they say he plays a lot poorer in cold weather. So to me, when I saw that it was also snowing and this, that, and the other thing, and then add on the Bears defense, which has been pretty good all year, I was like, this is going to be a tough game for him to win, and he pulled it out, But now you're going to be in Seattle. I don't know, is Seattle a dome?
No.
No, so but it's going to be cold, but I don't know if you're going to get snow or anything like that. So,
No, I doubt it.
you're right, because I don't think Seattle. I mean, I'm sure it snows there occasionally, but it's not like it would be in Chicago or any of those other places. But to me,
And Seattle got a bit of a big blow with Charbonnet out.
yeah,
Oh, he's out.
I mean, I know that Walker's the main guy, but Charbonnet is, a good tandem there, so that's going to be a big blow.
well, I'll tell you this from fantasy experience. Charbonnet's been a 50-50 split with Walker, so it will, and he vultured touchdowns from my man Walker, so it could be a huge blow. However, Walker ran all over San Francisco
Yeah.
last week, so maybe this is exactly what he needed, and I think Charbonnet wound up having surgery already too. It was bad.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out for a while. But I don't know in this kind of game, in the NFC Championship game, if it's going to hurt them as much as another skilled position player. You know what I mean? Like, he still has his two wide receivers. Well, actually, he has the one, Smith, whatever his name is, Smith
Njigba.
and Jigba. I don't know if he has any. Well, he has Rashid Shaheed, so he has him now too. But besides that, I think he still has enough weapons to get it going. I don't really see Darnold really playing as poorly as some of these other quarterbacks. I think because the coach has enough mindset to know what to do with Darnold, as long as the run game gets going. Now, if you have to rely on him to pass the ball a lot, you may see some nerves, but I feel like at this point, everything should be ready to go for him. Like, you're in the NFC Championship game, go play and do your best to win this game, and that's it. You know what I mean? And hopefully you make the Super Bowl. Who are you rooting for in this game to win?
The NFC.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with Seattle.
Ah, nice. What about you, Big Aaron?
Really, I couldn't give two turds, but if I had to pick, I'd say Seattle just for Sam Darnold. Fuck the Jets.
So, feelings mutual with the Dallas Cowboys, pal. I picked both of these teams to actually be in this exact position. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to just stick with that because every time I was asked, I was like, the Rams are really good and, Seattle's really good. So those guys are going to meet up at one point, and then whoever wins that
This
game,
happens to be in the NFC.
100%. It's just the way it shook out. So I'm just going to stick with the Rams. And then, Rams New England Super Bowl, I think, is that a rematch
Yeah.
of a Super Bowl, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one where Goff lost, right? Patriots won that one. Yeah. So I could see, not that Stafford needs the revenge. He won his Super Bowl, but I could see the Rams
Wait.
getting some revenge.
The Rams played when Goff was on the Rams, they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I'm pretty sure because remember,
I was thinking of back when the Patriots all came out like as a team or whatever. I think that was when they played. Was it Kurt Warner and them?
Oh, that was like 20-something years ago, dude.
Well, because I was saying I didn't remember the Rams playing the New England. I thought it was a different team.
I tell you why I remember that Super Bowl, because it was obviously Tom Brady on one end, and it was Goff when he was like somewhat new in the league. I don't think it was his rookie year.
That was the one that sucked.
Yes.
No,
I was just getting that. I was like,
That's why I couldn't recall.
It was 13-3 for like
what
three quarters.
What a game.
And no one but one guy that had 3-3 won all these Super Bowl pools.
Yes.
And I'll never forget how boring it was.
No, I remember.
And the Rams could do nothing in that Super Bowl. It was basically what the 49ers did last week.
Right.
They could do nothing. And I was so disappointed in that Super Bowl. It broke my heart because I thought it was at least going to be competitive, and it was not. And not that the Patriots did much better. They only scored, I think it was 16 points, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 16-13 was the final score.
Maybe if Seattle wins, then we could get another classic one like the last time they played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the thing with Seattle, especially this time of the year now, it's like their home field advantage plays a big part. So it's gonna be tough for the Rams to win this game.
Oh, this is not an easy game, and I'll be, like I said, if this game sucks, I'll be very disappointed. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like one of those, you score, I score, you score, I score type of thing, or it's going to be like defensively, like charged, where it's like no movement for the first half, and maybe it might be like 10-7.
What was their head-to-head this year? Did Seattle sweep them, or?
I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, let's see. Well, they're 14-3. They only lost 3 games. So chances are, they could have split or took both.
No, they split.
There you go.
Rams won the first one 21-19, and the Seahawks won 38-37.
Wow.
Both games.
Close. So which game are you going to get?
So the Seahawks won at home and the Rams won at home.
There we go. So here we go. So now this is the third game. Seattle's got the advantage. Let's see if they could keep the home field advantage.
Definitely the sexier matchup this weekend.
And which is why they're on at 6:30 and not 3 o'clock. And also now I feel like I'm going to have to take the Rams and the points this weekend, just in case they do win. Make some money off the Rams. By the way, we lost our bet again last week. Yeah. Just so Ernie, you missed out. Every week we've been picking the playoffs, and we've been off like 1 or 2 games.
I was off 2 this week.
Right. But like against each other we're off. So like, what was it? Let's just use last week for example.
Yeah, last week we missed 1 each.
Right. But like I told him, I was like, I'll put 2 $10 bets in. I'll put your 6 and my 6, and we only had a difference of 2 games. It was the San Francisco game with Philly and something else. And I'm like, I guarantee you right now, one of those games are gonna screw us for both our picks. Like, you can't win both, and I can't win both. We're gonna each win one, and that's what's happened both weeks. So now we only have 2 games. So we agree with New England, and we're splitting with the Rams and Seattle. So now I still can make 2 bets, but now if Denver wins, that's the only way we lose a bet, right? That's literally the only way we can lose a bet. Denver wins, we're screwed. And that's it. So, Sean, just lose. Whatever, man. It is what it is. All right? Give me a couple bucks. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a $10 bet this time around. I'm going to do the old roulette betting system. I'm going to double down on it. It's going to be $20 each one and see what happens. Last, I guess, sort of last but not least, but we got a bunch of new head coaches.
Saleh got hired by the Titans?
Yes! I know it's just on TV right now, but I kept seeing Jim Harbaugh. Today's like literally, Giants Day. Jim Harbaugh signed with the Giants. Yeah, and Saleh this also happened today. Saleh to the Titans, which is good. I don't remember the guy's name from Miami, but Miami got a new coach.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator from
Packers.
Yeah.
I forget his name though. It's like Halsley or
Hartley or
Hartley.
something
There
like
you go, Hartley. And also, the Atlanta Falcons got the guy from Cleveland,
Yeah,
Stefanski, which would have been the Giants head coach if Jim Harbaugh didn't get fired last week.
Which tells you that Stefanski must be a good coach because he caught a lot of flack in Cleveland,
Yep.
even though he went to the playoffs twice with them.
And two-time coach of the year with them as well.
And was hired right away by the Falcons.
And he would have been hired right away for the Giants if not for the Jim Harbaugh thing. And last but not least, we bring ourselves back to the Bills. They fired their head coach yesterday,
which is a bit of a shocker.
I don't think it is, to be fair. Like, how many times are you gonna run back the same thing if it's not working? You know what I mean? Like, it's like me going to your brother for an oil change and I keep calling him, he never answers. Eventually I gotta get this oil change, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait 3 years and then my car seizes, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I think it was just a surprise in the fact that it happened so quickly. I think he was doomed to get fired at some point. I think they rushed it up just to try and get other head coaches before they get snagged up.
Now at this point, who's going to be your head coach? Mike McCarthy? Is Mike McCarthy better than this guy?
I don't know, but you got to try something different. Their defense, Josh Allen aside in the last game, their defense has been terrible. They were saying that it might be Brian Dable might go over there.
Oh, boy.
I know. Rex Ryan. There's some other guys on a short list right now that I was hearing. But, you know, you have the argument always is you have one of the best, if not the best quarterback right now. And it's the same thing we always say about Aaron Judge. Get him to win a Super Bowl or at least a couple playoffs. You know he's 0-7 in overtime games, 0-3 in the playoffs in overtime games.
Yep.
And listen,
Saw that, yeah.
listen, that might not be the coach's fault, but you're not helping either. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, you know. So I don't blame them for trying to make a change and do it quickly.
Which really, when you put it in perspective, these fucking refs that fuck up calls, how it can change people's lives. Because if they don't fuck up that call and the Bills win the game,
He's still coaching.
that man still has a job.
Yeah, 100%. Because all you have to really listen, I would think it's almost like making the World Series. You make it to the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl.
And who knows? Maybe
You're
that's
good.
why he got fired, because he didn't challenge the play.
Yeah, but I think that was in overtime. Everything is reviewable.
Oh, that's right.
So like they should have just reviewed that play.
I don't think you even get to challenge. I think it's reviewed by New York.
Yeah, which that whole, and listen, would they have been in that position if they played so poorly? Absolutely not. They should have won that game by like 10 points at least. You know what I mean? Without all those turnovers. But these are the positions you get put in where now it's overtime. One play can cost you the game, and we've seen it time and time again in all sports. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, he's now gone, so we'll see who they get in the upcoming weeks. And what's the funny thing about all these? That there's 10 jobs that are open right now, and Pittsburgh's another one. I totally forgot about that. But Mike Tomlin stepped down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, which it looks like he's not going to coach next year at all, so he's taking a year off,
Right.
which is good for him. He's had a hell of a career so far up until this point. I hope he doesn't do a Bill Cowher and never comes back, because he should go to another team to see if he could win another Super Bowl, because he's that good of a coach. 19 years, not one losing record.
Yep.
In football, that's amazing.
Yep.
I don't think we'll ever see that. And as good as Jim Harbaugh was, he didn't do that. You know what I mean? So just...
And don't forget, he hasn't had a decent quarterback since Roethlisberger.
Right, which is going on, like 6 years now at least? So kudos to him. Congratulations for that. You got to figure at some point the Miami Dolphins are going to be just like the Jets in every way, because they hired this bum DC coordinator, and, they literally did that yesterday, and then you have all these coaches that spill out like afterwards, you know what I mean? That's why I think like you should wait to hire a head coach till after the playoffs, so that everyone that's out there, you got an equal shot. Like the Giants knew you didn't make the playoffs. You already have a head coach vacancy. You can hire whoever you want. But if you're looking at certain people that are in the playoffs, and they would know better than us, right? Like, there's rumors around. Like, you might know that Jim Harbaugh might get fired at some point, or this guy might open up, or this guy might open up. And now you got this first-time head coach of Miami. You think he's going to do any good with that team? They're going to be terrible like the Jets. And I'm just used to the Jets being terrible, so it's fine. But Miami fans go crazy for whatever reason over this kind of stuff. But you should wait to hire until at least right before the Super Bowl. You know that week when nothing's going on and it's the Pro Bowl and all that? You got to assume that the two coaches that are in the Super Bowl are keeping their job, right? So hire anyone else. Like, they could have hired the Bills coach. He just got fired the next day. They could have hired that guy in Miami. I'm sure he would have taken that job to stick it to the Bills. And at least he's a competent, he's won, a lot of games at least, maybe not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he's got a winning resume, as opposed to, let's give this guy a fresh start. I don't know. That's just something just came to me on the top of my head. Other than that, football's good. The Knicks suck. Have you been watching the Knicks? I have not, to be fair.
I haven't either, but I know they haven't been looking good, so.
No, and I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm also not one of those people that's going to, that's so into basketball that I'm going to worry about it in January. Like, whatever, they'll figure it out. Like, as good as they were in the beginning, they'll be good again, right?
Either you watched the college game last night?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that, too. The number one pick was in there, Mendoza. I watched some of it.
Yeah. Good?
It was okay.
It was all right. It was a close game, pretty
Right.
much the whole game.
Yeah. The defense has played a hell of a game.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Miami's defense definitely kept them in that game. But hey, good for Indiana. First national championship.
Yeah, so kudos to them. So now that kid Mendoza has that on his resume as well, and he's going to be going into the draft, and he's going to be an Oakland Raider, and he's going to be used to losing for a little while.
Vegas Raider.
That's right.
Undefeated.
That's right.
Season
It's going to go from undefeated to winless.
What have you guys been watching? I mean, Ernie, you should have almost a list, but I'm afraid to even talk to you right now because you're going to give me one of these excuses like, dude, I really just been going home and going
No, I mean, between being sick that time and being so long, I've watched quite a bit. I'm going to give you a couple that were really just stumbled upon them by accident.
Yeah?
These two.
Movies?
No,
Okay.
shows. One is called Malice, which is with David Duchovny, and it's just a one season thing, 6 episodes.
Okay. What's it on? Oh, you don't know.
Prime.
Oh, okay.
Both of these shows are on Prime. Very good. And then the second one was a show that I stumbled upon by accident again that I'm 99.9% sure, because I even went back to check. The first season was in 2016. So I watched it. It was just one season. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, or whatever it was, I see a commercial for it or on Prime, that season 2 came out. So
9 years later it comes out?
yeah, and it's called The Night Manager.
Oh,
Loki.
with Loki, yeah.
Yeah, I heard of that.
I heard of that too. I wanted to watch that. You saw that?
The second season is just 3 episodes in.
And the first season is only 6 episodes, right? I looked into
that
it.
was on AMC back then.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So it really is from back then, the first season.
Yeah.
And it's so mind-boggling because everybody looks exactly the same age. But
I heard that was good. Yeah.
awesome.
Noted.
Mayors of Kingstown. The Mayor of Kingstown was awesome. Did you guys watch that?
I did. That ending was bananas. It was bananas. And they're making one last season of that, and then that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
Next year will be its last season.
awesome.
So good.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's like run its course.
Right.
But
it's borderline ridiculous what happens in this season, but
awesome.
it's and at the very least, at least it's entertaining. You know what I mean?
And then another show that I watched because I heard the Wanderer mention it, and I don't know, I guess it was when I was sick, so I was like, I just needed to find something to watch, and it was not surprisingly, but I totally enjoyed it. Was Robinhood.
You liked it too.
You missed out on so much. How good was that?
It was kind of surprising.
To me, it was Games of Thrones, just a third of the involved parties, which made it so much easier to watch and
follow.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to remember who these 6,000 different key roles were, you know?
And they don't have really long or weird names where you're like, who's that person again?
Very good.
You know?
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Oh, me too. Dude, you missed it when you were sick and you weren't around. I binge watched it in like 3 days. And it was between shows, basically. And I was like, dude, I love that so much. I cannot wait for the second. I hope they have a second season.
I hope so, yeah.
Oh, my God. It was so good. And the kid that plays Robin Hood was good.
Yeah,
they
were all good.
All good. All the characters are so great. And, like, to me, the story flowed so well that by the time you got to the last episode, there's 10 episodes, the story was almost complete, and then you almost felt like that was one book, if it were to be a book, and then like the next book is coming, and the next season's gonna be like a whole different like thing, and like it ended in a slight cliffhanger because it's not completely done, right? Which I like too, because like he got his piece, whatever, everything kind of like settled in, with what is her name? Maid Marian's father or whatever like that. So that was season 1. Now season 2, I feel like he's going to be dealing with the sheriff. And then that's where like the lore of Robin Hood begins. So like this could go on for like years if they wanted to. Great show. Good pull, Wander.
Thank you.
Just hopefully people are watching it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hope so too. That's why I guess we kind of do this thing, right? You know what I mean? Whatever.
And then Landman. Season 2 just finished.
Oh, boy, I just finished it today. I'm so glad you talked about it. Go ahead. How did you like it?
Good. Very good. Very good.
Did you see second season yet?
I haven't.
All right, we won't talk about it. But it was excellent. I was so shocked in episode 9 what happened to Billy Bob. I was like, what? But then I was thinking that there was going to be there's still a cliffhanger, which I'm not going to ruin, but I was thinking there was going to be more of a cliffhanger. I'm glad they didn't do that. Because I don't want to wait 2 years for another. See, I know they don't do that, but God forbid, I don't want to wait so long and be like, what the hell? Another great cast. Everyone's really good in it. Sometimes some of these people I've never seen before too that are really good in this show. You know what I mean? Excellent, great, bro. You're bringing the heat today. I love it. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Oh, right. You probably forgot something. You've watched so much shit. Wanderer, go ahead.
Well, let's see. I don't think I watched a whole lot. It was, mostly football over the weekend. Current with Fallout.
I watched Fallout too.
Nice. You like it?
Are you up to date?
Yeah.
You're up to date?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it, dude.
I'm
it's
almost like embarrassed to say like how into it I've been.
Yeah, no,
it's actually a pretty good show. But I like him too.
Right.
From
Walt Goggins.
Yeah,
Walter Goggins, yeah.
I mean,
He's great, yeah.
I'm glad that he's been so popular and you're seeing him around so much because he was just so good in the Righteous Gemstones that he deserves.
What about Vice Principals?
Yeah, but that show just didn't make it, right? Like
It had like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. But in the Righteous Gemstones, he was.
Yeah, he plays great characters. He's been, you know what it is? He's been like a B-list actor for so many years. Like even when we were growing up, like he was like the henchman or this or like a secondary character, and he was always pretty good. Even in like Ant-Man, he's like a businessman, like crook or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got those roles, and then he had a few breakout roles where he's really good that I liked him in as a weasel.
Justified, I guess, was probably his first big role.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. And then now I feel like this show really, especially the second season, really revolves around him and his and everything like that. And I keep forgetting it's a video game because I'm like, where are these monsters coming from all the time? Like where, like, and I and some other people just want to know, like, how do they become ghouls? Like they haven't explained that yet. Like I want to know how he became a ghoul and other people didn't. And you saw it a little bit with that guy that was part of the. What is the military group called? Like not the Confederate or whatever it was.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
But like the guys that have the armored suits and all that stuff, and they got the guy following him. That guy turned into a ghoul when he got shot. And I'm like, how does that? So like they didn't explain it, but it's like that can't happen to everybody. But some people it does happen to.
No, but he turned into the ghoul because of the shyster guy that fixed his foot.
Oh.
Remember?
Yes. Oh, so that might have something to do with it. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that guy, I have a feeling that guy, or at the very least, what he may have stumbled upon and found one day in that case with all those, whatever things you call potions or whatever, is going to come into play as a much bigger thing, because that's when he turned into the ghoul.
Yeah, because he got shot with that arrow, remember? And then he's like, oh, I think you're a ghoul.
Right.
So that must means people might have been getting injected by some kind of stuff, and that's what turns you into a ghoul. But there's like little kids too, so like I want to know that part of the story too, which we might not even get to that this season. Like that might be like a third season, but you're right. Fallout's another great show. We were hitting home runs recently with some of these shows. What else you got?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I watched the first episode of that Chief of War that you told me about. That was good. I liked it. It's like heavy though. It's dense. You got the subtitles, but like a lot's going on, and you gotta really pay attention.
Can you believe I watched that thing? Oh my god! Sat right here on this couch. Thanks, buddy. I sat right here and watched that damn thing.
I watched the first one of that. I also started this other show, The Beast in Me, on Netflix.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
I haven't watched that yet.
I think I'm like on the third episode.
That's another one that's one and done.
One and done?
Yeah.
What's it about? Like, what is it?
Claire Danes
she's a writer.
That's all you need to know. Claire Danes is gotta be the most talented actor there is, because that bitch plays nothing but batshit crazy characters, and she must be batshit crazy in real life, because there ain't no way anybody can be that good of an actor.
Yeah, she's good.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, she's a writer, and her neighbor is like accused. He's accused of something, and she gets, closer. You'll enjoy it.
That's it. Hey, just watch it, bro. Just trust me.
No, it's really fantastic, and it's something you could watch with Kim, and it's
right.
Really good.
Awesome.
What else? I watched the first episode of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It was really good.
Yeah?
I thought they did a great job with it. And is there anything else that I'm watching? I think that might be it. Yeah, not a whole lot for me this week.
Wow. Good stuff, guys.
What about you?
So I watched His and Hers on Netflix.
What's that?
That's with the Punisher and Valkyrie. It's a murder mystery, so to speak. I can't tell you much more about it, but I'll tell you this. It's 6 episodes, and I'll give you $100 if after the first 3 episodes, you give me the correct the correct criminal that killed somebody. Okay? And you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. But this show it's the newest one on Netflix for the most part, that and Runaway. But it's like the top 10. It's the number 1 on their list.
Okay.
And everyone that I talked to has watched it, or at least is in the process of watching it. I just finished it last week in 3 days. Really good. I'll tell you that guy, what is it, John Bethel, whatever his name is, the Punisher. That guy's a great actor, but the one thing I would tell him is he literally walks like the Punisher in everything he does. Everything I see him, I just see the Punisher at this point. But he's like a homicide detective in a small town, and things go crazy, and you'll see. It's quick. You guys will love it. You guys will both love it. So I have that. I watched a new Ben Affleck
I knew you would.
and Matt Damon movie.
I pretty much, guarantee, I knew that you would watch it. So how was it?
It was good. Shady didn't like it because he
Okay.
thought it was a little out there. But
Alright.
as far as a cop movie goes, it had action. It was entertaining. Those two guys are great together. It's all about corrupt cops and all that kind of stuff. A little bit with the cartel and all that stuff.
Okay.
To me, I thought it was cool. Like
Alright.
when I see a police movie as opposed to a police TV show, I look at a TV show that's gonna have like 10 or so episodes, if not more.
What's it called? Grip?
The Rip.
Oh,
the Rip. So the Rip is basically, from what I can tell from the movie in police terms, is, they're basically taking
The score.
something. Yeah, basically. So it held up to that end, and it was entertaining, and it wasn't overly long. I think it was like just shy of 2 hours.
Okay.
It was enjoyable. And then after that, I started going down, we'll call it a tiki rabbit hole, and I started trying to look for movies, like kind of like stumble upon something that was good. And I stumbled upon The Tender Bar, which is a Ben Affleck movie. I don't know if you guys ever see it. It's a little old, and by old I mean it might be like 2012, but it's about like a kid that lost his parents, and
Yeah, I saw that years ago. And he owns a bar.
he owns a bar.
Yeah.
And he's basically kind of trying to raise this kid that's just going to college, and he wants to be I think it was a writer.
Yeah, I think it's made from a book.
Yeah, I think it's if that's not a true story, there's another movie that I watched that was a true story. But
No,
I
that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
think it's like a biography that was turned into.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Then that's it though. But it was really well done. It was good, and it took place on Long Island.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That I didn't remember. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it's an old movie.
I'm not. I've never been a big Ben Affleck fan.
Oh,
so
okay. All right. No
I
big
just
deal.
don't love his stuff. But I remember that being a good movie.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Then The Runaways. So Devang told me about His and Hers, so I watched that, and then the next show was The Runaways on Netflix, which is somewhere on the top 10 as well. I don't know what it is now, but that's like I want to say it was. I don't know if they took it from BBC or something like that, like the British television, because they're all like British and it takes place in London. But that's another kind of like thriller mystery kind of show where a girl gets kidnapped, but not really kidnapped. Like she runs away with her boyfriend, and then there's a murder. I'm only 2 episodes in, but the first 2 episodes were really good. Yeah, especially the end of the first episode. They leave it on this sick cliffhanger. You're like, oh my god! And it made me want to watch the second episode. And it was late at night. I was like, oh, we gotta watch one more. We gotta see where this goes. Just whatever. And
Who's in that show?
it's Mimi Driver is or Minnie Driver is one of the people that you would know in there. Everyone else, I don't think you know. Oh, you know who's also in there? Little John from Robin Hood. But it's so far so good. I think it's only 8 episodes.
Okay.
It may be one and done. I'm not sure because it's fairly new.
Gotcha.
But that was really good too. And then the last movie I found it was on the Fire Stick. It was called Muzzle City of Wolves, another cop movie. It's with is it Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah.
He's like a cop, and his family's in trouble with some kind of cartel, and he's gotta try and help save them. And the whole movie was good. It was all action, and then the one negative I would say is the tail end. I thought the ending would have been a lot different, and it almost seemed like it just dropped off the cliff and the movie ended. But still good. if you don't like bad endings, then I wouldn't watch it. But if you don't mind it, like it's almost like a Sopranos, like, oh, fade to black, what happened kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of leaves you a little like that, not totally like that, but in that kind of realm where like, oh, this is all that happens. Great, you know, you wanted to see more of it. But it was for like one of those B-list movies that goes right to probably like Prime or Netflix or anything like that.
Right.
It was pretty entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for that. You guys crushed it, especially you, Ernie. But you've had enough time to watch shows. I'm kind of glad you stepped it up a little bit, and it was nice to have you.
And I keep seeing these trailer type things on social media. Gamora's coming out with a new series.
Oh wow, that's cool.
The original. It's called Gamora, the original. So it's back when Pedro Savastano was a kid.
Oh wow.
Really?
So
Okay. Definitely check that
I can't
out.
wait. I think it's coming out at the end of this month.
What's that going to be on?
Good question. I think it's an HBO thing.
Really?
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember. No, was it a Netflix thing? It was a weird because the original show
Yeah.
was HBO. Then it was bought by Netflix. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's going to
Yeah,
be on.
I'm not sure either because obviously it's from Italy, so
Yeah,
originally
it's a Sky show.
Sky,
it's definitely a Sky show, but
I think originally I saw it on what
maybe,
was it?
so
I
maybe
saw it on
so maybe I'm jumping the gun. It might be coming out on Sky at the end, which
okay.
means we won't see it
See
till
it.
like next
Yeah.
year, because that's what used to happen. Like with the original series Gamora, it would be shown in Europe and stuff on Sky, and we wouldn't get the season till a year later.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. I think I saw it originally. I think it was on like Sundance or like the movie. Some weird channel. It was either IFC or Sundance. I think it was Sundance. But then at one point HBO got some kind of rights for it, so HBO has like all of it now.
And it's going to be a prequel to that series?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're excited for that because you liked the first couple seasons of that, and then you said it tailed off.
That's a great show.
Yeah, but that was the first few seasons were fucking bananas.
Yeah.
All right.
Quite possibly best show ever.
I still haven't watched that yet. I got to get into that.
Definitely.
That's something I
highly recommend.
I got to have another surgery to watch that. That's basically what's going to happen because after the Chief of War, I got to sit here and actually just watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what's so great about it, not that it's a great thing, but the guy who wrote the book, because the movie is based off of, the series is based off of a book, but the guy who wrote the book pissed off the mafia so much that he's actually been living in hiding his entire life since he wrote that book.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap. So that must mean it's got to be like a legit, like real show kind of thing. Because he's probably took all the secrets or whatever. That's it. That's all I got. What do you got for yours?
One music selection as usual. This week we're going to go with Fontaine's DC with Skinty Fia. So that's the pick for this week.
All right, folks. Everyone enjoy the AFC and NFC championship games and everything else that you got going on during the week. And hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday.
Stay
Till
warm.
next time.
Hey, watch out for the snow.